All right, y'all. Welcome back to Mirror Expressions, a channel where I take the time to share a little bit of myself with you all, and I invite y'all to come on in and do the same with me. Hit that thumbs up button for me. Y'all have been doing so fantabulous with that, and I'm loving all the love. Hit subscribe if you are not a subscriber. Let's get those subscribers up, y'all. And we have definitely reached our 100 mark, so let's make another goal. Let's hit that 200 mark, right? 200 subscribers. Let's see if we can get that, and let your girl know how you're doing. Like, if you have looked in a mirror today, because baby, okay, I'm loving you. Love on yourself. If you would look in one and you are feeling a-okay with what you see looking back at you, drop me a mirror emoji in the chat. If you do not, of course, y'all, I encourage you to do what you must. Always get to a healthier version of yourself, right? So we are at this reunion, part 1. Now, why there are several parts, I don't know. Because at this point, with all these filler episodes, these fluffy episodes we've been getting, we know everything. So first off, let's talk looks, right? Dumb, straight off top, did not like her look at all. She was probably, no, I was going to say the words, but I'm going to give it to, I'm going to say she and Shaquille. Like, they were there for me. I didn't like either one of their looks. Dumb, but dumb, yeah. It definitely dated her. And I think it was like a combination of things. It was the eyeshadow for sure. That dress, it was just a no for me. McKinley was all right. Nothing spectacular. Aerys was Aerys. He looked fine, y'all. He looked fine. His shoes were huge, though. I'm like, what is with these big shoes? Jasmine looked great. She had on a gown. Still beautiful, though. She changed her hair. She changed from a side part to a middle part. I will say I was not a big fan of that, simply because she always has her hair slicked down. And it's probably where her real hair meets the weave. I don't know. I've never been a weave wearer. But like, even with the side part, it always was slicked down, and then da da da. So even with the middle part, it was still slicked down and then just flowing. I don't know. It just doesn't look natural to me. I mean, it wasn't horrible, but that middle part just makes it a lot more pronounced to me. Nicole, wasn't really a fan of her dress either. Although she looked absolutely beautiful herself, like her makeup and everything, gorgeous. And I like that color on her. I just didn't like the style of dress. Chris, he was dapper than usual. He still had them 3 little strands over here on the side. Yeah. Why was Kirsten and Shaquille dressed alike? Like, why are they sitting up there matching? Like, what's up? What's really up? She was stunning. She moved her part too. So, she normally has the middle part, right? And I told y'all last video, I always just be wanting to flatten that hair down. Like, it just, anyway. But anyway, so now she moved hers to a little side part. And I loved it. I love that look on her. Loved her dress. And her makeup. Dress was different. It was giving body yada yada. She had the leg out. She was showing a little stomach. Yeah, her entire look was a hit. Shaquille, on the other hand, like I said, I'm putting him up there with dumb. He did not like it. Like, he had this gold suit on. First of all, if you gonna be, I don't know. The suit looked too little, and the shoes, like, he had these black shoes on. They were big too, with these big, thick white soles. Like, It reminded me of this song we used to sing, Bobo's just $1.99. Oh snap! We see that when we were little. Oh my goodness. I did not like it. I did not like the look at all. Yeah. Let's see. Gina was gorgeous. She was. Love that color on her. And Clint looked great, but to me, he always does. And was it just me, or did his hair look a little darker? Like maybe he dyed it? It didn't look as reddish as it normally did. Like even I was looking like at his beard, because that's where I normally see it a lot more pronounced, but it didn't seem that way to me. But hey, I could be wrong. Y'all, so the group is all out there at first. There wasn't really much to talk about that we have not seen or heard at this point, right? Especially with all these filler episodes that they have been giving us. We learned that Mac has moved back to Michigan. Of course, we knew that. So I'm saying we learned that. But we learned he bought a house. He said he has a house with his own basement. Whoop-de-doo. Most homes up there have basements. Like, I'm just saying, like, the further up north you get, most homes do. He made it sound like it was just like a big, like, I'm on my rich bitch type of thing. Like, no. Anyway, let me see. Oh, Clint, he has moved into the same apartment complex as Nicole and Chris. So look, let's keep moving. It wasn't nothing to see. So we get the couple by couples, right? So we see Aerys and Jasmine first. They talk about the cousin Felina and how she just was not nice. She was very disrespectful towards Jasmine. And Aerys was trying to take up for her at first. And, you know, pretty much, they talked about that in the group too. Yeah, I might be getting mixed up, but it was talked about. So, Aerys, you know, eventually apologized to Jasmine for not being supportive of her in that situation with the cousin. And then he said, on behalf of my cousin, like, Aerys, no, you cannot apologize for her. You cannot apologize for her actions. You can apologize for your actions and not supporting Jasmine through that, but you can't come through and apologize for that cousin. I'm like, no, it's not how that works. Jasmine's friend did come out. She just said that she really wanted to give it to Aerys for how he treated her, but you know, she talks about like how she was just really worried about Jasmine's mental through this whole process just because of how Aerys was with her. And it just makes me think, because Aerys was saying that on the honeymoon she was friend zone, and so from there her expectations were not that high, but that's not what we saw, Jasmine. I can't say that you accepted that on the honeymoon and then y'all just plan to get through things. Like, I still think you were expecting more than that to come around, because that's kind of what we saw. And if that was true that you accepted it, I don't think your friend would be so concerned as she was about your mental health doing that. But anyway, so there's that piece. Jasmine is now in a relationship with friend boy that we met a couple of episodes ago. Kevin, he kind of harped on why Aerys was not attracted to Jasmine, right? And Aerys was just like, you know, she knows we've talked about it, but out of respect for her and her family, I'm not going to say it. And I'm just like, but what is it? Like, because I feel like this. The way he trying to make it seem like he doesn't want to say it because it's a disrespectful thing to her and her family. But Jasmine, sitting there when he's talking about it, while they're discussing it, she had her head held high. she even laughs like she wasn't shamed or like, oh, please don't let, there was none of that. So I'm really feeling like it's something with him. You know what I'm saying? While he trying to act like he's protecting her, it has to be something with him. You know what I'm saying? And I've heard many people talking about maybe it's her teeth. Like, to me, again, like I said, I didn't see such a big issue with her teeth. Like, we all got something. It was not like, to me, it was not pronounced. It was at the bottom. And I know a lot of people are like saying that that's probably what it was, or they're even talking about her teeth now. She got them fixed, da 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 da. And you know what? To be honest, and I think I said this in one of my earlier reviews, she wears flippers. She's in the pageant world, and her teeth probably are not fixed. Those are probably flippers that she wears, and she probably wanted to put them in, but I'm kind of like her. If I have imperfections in my teeth, but like if I wore flippers for stage purposes, that's not something I would want to walk around every day with. Like, if I'm okay with my looks, which I am, I wouldn't want to, be putting on no flippers every day just to please somebody else. Like, if she's okay with the way her teeth are, then I understand why she would come in with just her regular teeth versus wearing flippers, because she would want her mate to accept her the way she is. So I don't think it's a teeth thing. Again, I feel like it's an issue with him. It's an issue that he probably made to be like her, made it to seem like it's something with her, but it's a him thing. It's a him thing all the way. But anyway, we get never before seen footage of him saying to her that he wants an open marriage, but at the end it was all a joke, because he just said he would get silly after a while, after so many hours of filming. But it was a little funny, just seeing that they would play around like that. He did say that she has inspired him to do some volunteer work, so he's doing a lot of that. And as far as her, she wants to open her own spa. Like, she went to esthetician school and she wants to open her own spa at some point. Now what we did hear about was their party buzz, though, that you and Kirsten were talking about. So I hope that's not anything they put on the back burner, because I think that could be a very lucrative business, for them. Or even not even a party bus, but one of those party bikes or something. I don't know what you want to call it, but yeah, you know what I'm talking about. Anyways, we see Nicole and Chris next. They talk with Kevin, and there was really nothing to see about them. They did say that they will be looking for a home in the near future. Everything's well. They called her dad on FaceTime. Again, dad was great. He was glad that everything's worked out. He said that Chris has BDE now. They bring up how they were not on the same page with having children, and where are they now. Nicole seemed like she was still leaning more towards a no, while Chris was definitely no, we're having children. So it seemed like that. I think Nicole said that they really hadn't even talked about that since the honeymoon, and it showed, because the way they were answering the question, they were not on the same page. So Nicole kind of just tried to do the PC answer, well, that's something we will discuss in the future, but it's not anything we're looking to do right now. And I'm just like, but who knows? Nicole could turn out, it could be like that couple. Goodness, they were on a few seasons, and they just had a baby. Because I just watched an update about them. And she did not want to have children, but he did. Brianna and Vincent. Yes. Oh, and their little baby is too adorable. Go catch up with them if you have not. Brianna and Vincent. Brianna, y'all remember, Brianna did not want to have children. She was fearful, I think, because of her blood pressure and something, but he definitely did. But now that she done had that baby, and she ended up having to have a C-section, is what they were saying in their video. But now she's had one, and she said she's looking forward to having 3 more. Now, this is from the person that didn't want any before, so Nicole could end up being like that. So hopefully they get on the same page about that soon. But I do think that is something they definitely need to go ahead and address, because that could be a deal breaker for some people. And they can't. That was the other thing. They haven't had a big argument either yet, and so at this point they probably are almost a year in, maybe. So I think that's something. That's something that they just need to go ahead and hash out. You know what I'm saying? And they can't be afraid to go to those places where disagreements are going to happen, because that's also how you grow. You know what I'm saying? So, anyways, that's about all with them. After that, all the ladies come back out. Kevin talks to them. They kind of talk about how the guys are having sex already. Like, they pretty much, after they said no, went to go get them some tail. Pretty much. So that was a thing. He asked them, well, who do they go to for advice? Everybody said Nicole, which we all saw throughout the season that everybody pretty much did, or rather she kind of self-designates herself as that person. And then they kind of talk about how they were all there for each other. And the big thing was how they rallied around Jasmine when she had her breakdown. And that was another thing. Like, if Jasmine felt like she had already come to a good place where she was friend zoned, she really wasn't expecting anything, then she would not have gotten to that place in the show. So they did play back, and they just kind of showed her having that breakdown and how the ladies all rallied around her and were there for her. And so watching that, Jasmine got emotional then. And so that's how you could tell it was more, and she really was wanting more. So Kevin was kind of like, what is that? What's coming up for you? And so at first she was just kind of like, And then she just kind of said, it was just looking back and seeing how the life had been sucked out of her, and how she wanted more. She wanted that to work. And it's like, Jasmine, just allow yourself to be open and feel that, you know what I'm saying, versus saying, well, he friends on me, because we heard that when they were together, like, how do y'all become such good friends? And it was like, well, when he friends on me, that's what I knew. I knew it wasn't going to be anything. So it's just kind of like, now let's just be friends. So that's what we are. There was nothing else, no other expectations. But Jasmine, just be honest and allow yourself to say, no, I did want more. And he just was not rising up to the occasion. Like, he didn't put in that extra effort. But anyways, but yeah. So just to see her get emotional, you know there was more there. But anyways, that was good to see that they did have that camaraderie and how they were there for one another or whatever. They kind of talk about what type of man each one of them like or would do well with. And they kind of go one by one with everybody except for Nicole, of course, because she has Chris. But the thing that stuck out when they got to Kirsten, they were just like, what type of man would be best for Kirsten? And Nicole's like, Shaquille, here go Kirsten. Like, girl, what was that about? Because you... Which kind of leads me to think, like, Kirsten... still got something there for Shaquille. That's how I took that. She does. She's trying to act like she doesn't, like she's game over. But she's not. Anyway, Gina and Clint, they come out. It wasn't much to see with them either. Kevin was kind of just like, y'all really do look great together. Why couldn't y'all get together? Why? what was it? And because y'all have all the great components, like y'all have a great friendship, y'all work well together, what was it? And to be honest, y'all, I really felt like Clint was being reserved in this aspect about, I don't want to say it as pointing fingers, but just calling Gina out on not being a willing participant. Like, I really do. I really felt like he was being reserved in that. But yeah, that was pretty much it. Kirsten and Shaquille, they're the last couple we see come up. And Kevin wants to know, why was there a no from him? Everybody thought they were going to work out. Why was there a no? Shaquille couldn't really say why he said no. He was all over the place. And when I say all over the place, I mean he was all over the place. First, he said a prophet told him. So when Kevin kind of pushed him about that, like, so you gonna let a prophet tell you to say no to all that? He was like, well, the prophet told me I got a big decision coming up and I need to choose. I need to think about me. There go that think about me. I need to think about me. I need to choose me. And then it went from, well, I didn't feel supported. She wasn't supporting me, giving me the support I needed. Then it went from, well, I didn't feel good enough for Kirsten. I didn't feel like I was good enough for her. Like, Shaquille, make up your mind. What is it? So then we leave with this cliffhanger. Kevin asks him, does he regret saying no? And then the episode ends. And of course, he does. We all know he regrets it. He's like, that's why he tried to hold on by any means, but still try to do him in the process. So I suspect that when we come back next week for part 2, that it's going to be a yes. He has regrets. Because Kirsten even said that he told her that he wishes that they had stayed together and worked things out. And that was another thing, like, because Kevin was just like, well, if you think y'all could have worked things out afterwards, then that's why you say yes to see, like, give things a try. You know what I'm saying? Anyway, y'all, it's a mess. That was it. That was the end of part 2. But I also kind of wanted to talk to y'all about this, like Justin from last season. So I heard another YouTube channel that I watch, Coco and Eddie, the Co-Ed family. If y'all don't see them, go check them out. They're a married couple. I love them. They are too funny. They are funny, hilarious. But anyway, so they did an interview with Justin, right? And so in this interview, he told the world, he wanted the world to know that he has Klinefelter syndrome, that he was actually diagnosed. And I mentioned that during their season, that I felt he had Klinefelter. And so this is the thing I want to talk about, though. If you're not familiar with Klinefelter, look it up. It has to do with hormones, but let me read y'all this. So the primary features are infertility and small, poorly functioning testicles. Symptoms are, you may have weaker muscles, great height, poor motor coordination, less body hair, breast growth, and less interest in sex. Yeah, to me, from the outside looking in, that was Justin to the T, right? And so the one thing, though, he wanted to talk about, because he wanted to talk about all of those symptoms, I noticed that, was he wanted to point out that with that, you also may have emotional outbursts because your hormones are out of whack. And so that was why he said he was having his emotional outbursts. That's why he was doing all that crying. And so he basically wants to have a reason, put a reason to why he was acting the way he was acting. And I'm not going to dismiss that, because that probably did have a lot to do with it. And by him being the age he was and never having been diagnosed, he has not learned to regulate those emotions, right? But in that, I noticed though, because now he kept trying to call his girl out about her being a problem with their sex life, when she said it was him without saying so much as what it was. Y'all heard what I just said. Your drive is low. You have your testicles are small. You know what I'm saying? So I believe it was him when it came to them not being sexually compatible. But he never spoke on that during that interview. If y'all get a chance, go listen. He just wants to speak on the emotional aspect of things. But I'm just like, you tried to call her out, especially, what was that, when they was catching up with them, Where Are They Now? And they met up at that park and he tried to clown her and walk away. Like, let's talk about all things, how this affects you. You know what I'm saying? But he did talk about his muscle mass and how he never was growing muscle no matter how often he worked out. And we saw that he had the man boobs, even though he this big, and how he didn't make the, I think, like in the introduction episodes, we learned that he was trying to play pro ball and he never made it or something to that point. The coordination is off. But yes, I thought that was just interesting, because I said that in one of the reviews. I felt like that was what he had. He fitted textbook. And I think he was saying that his girlfriend, maybe it was his girlfriend, he was calling whoever by name, and so I'm just assuming that was his girlfriend, came up to him like, babe, don't get mad, but have you ever had your testosterone levels checked? And so it kind of just started from there. But anyway, if you don't know them, look up the co-ed, Coco and Eddie. Check them out. Check their interview out. It's pretty cool. And y'all, that's all I got. Let's get in these comments. What are y'all thinking about this reunion? Better yet, about these looks, because baby, Dominique and Shaquille, no, it's a no. It's a no all day, every day. Anyway, y'all, I pray for y'all. Y'all pray for me. And what? Peace out, y'all.